My name is Kenny Wallace. I'm a member of Secure Arkansas and the Arkansas Tea Party. I also have a blog called Little Rock Immigration Examiner. I first off want to say that every place that I've ever worked at, I didn't have to wait for every single person that was working at the company to get a raise before I did. I don't know why every single employee has to get a raise at the same time. I don't believe this quorum court should receive a raise, in part because we have been wasting federal funds on what appear to be what are called green projects. I'll give just some examples. The west ramp for the Big Dam Bridge is $3.5 million to go into that. The MacArthur Park is $2 million. Pulaski Pinnacle Trail is $1.2 million. And the Rock Island Corridor is $450,000. We know that the Going Green agenda has been an expensive scam that we don't want. Al Gore recently came on clean on one of the Going Green projects. It's called ethanol subsidies. Last year, the U.S. taxpayers spent $700 billion to help burn our own food supply to fight the myth that is man-made global warming. Man's carbon footprint is only 3.27% of the Earth's and does not affect Earth's climate by 1 degree. Which is why $1 should not be going for reducing our carbon footprint for any ICLEI project, including the ones here in Pulaski County. So I don't think at least this quorum court deserves a raise, and if you believe that maybe the sheriff himself deserves a raise, or the sanitation department, or whichever employees, I believe it's possible to give them a raise without giving yourselves one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
Next, Carrie. Yes, sir.
I'm Danny Martin, and I'm Terry Stallings.
Jim and Penny.
I'm John Arias.
Hey, John.
And we've got a couple different questions, but we first just kind of wanted to share some thoughts with you on the budget. First of all, we want to just make it very clear that we are not here to cause a scene. We're not here to disrespect any of you, nor to be disrespected. We are really just here to ask some questions and get educated. We certainly understand that you all are the experts on how the county government works, and we're trying to learn, and I'm very confident that as elected officials you welcome citizen engagement. So please understand the spirit in which the questions are asked. We've been following an online discussion between Judge Blines, Sherman Smith, Director of Public Works, and Justice of Peace Doug Reed about a list of projects in the Road and Bridge Department. Fundamentally, we disagree with county funds and federal stimulus funds, all of which are funded by taxpayers, being spent on non-essential projects when our nation is in a spending crisis and our own community is in a crime crisis. As I'm sure most of you know, Little Rock was recently named the 15th most dangerous city in the country. We are speaking directly about the $6 million being added to the Road and Bridge Department from the county's reserve funds. Specifically, the projects listed on a 2010 project list. I have a lot of papers, so I'm sorry. But we have that list provided by Mr. Smith. I'll name a few so that you'll understand what we're talking about. The west ramp for the Big Dam Bridge, project number 13, construction cost $3.5 million. The MacArthur Park project, number 6, design cost $300,000, construction cost $1.7 million. The Pulaski Pinnacle Trail, phase 1, $400,000, estimated cost for phases 2 and 3, $800,000 for a total of $1.2 million. The Coleman Creek Trail, total cost is unavailable at this time, but the trail is meant to connect, from our understanding, War Memorial Park to Saline County, and that just kind of sounds expensive in and of itself. The Rock Island Corridor design and construction cost $450,000 taxpayer dollars. The plaza at Two Rivers Park, $400,000 taxpayer dollars. That all adds up, obviously. Again, we're interested in asking the county to please stop obtaining federal stimulus money, taxpayer money for projects when we are experiencing deficits as a nation like we've never seen before. We also asked that the request for $6 million additional dollars to Road and Bridge, which has been taken from Pulaski County reserves, not be granted. Why not use this $6 million to combat the crime problem and treat our law enforcement officers?
Can I ask, that's a specific answer that you deserve,
Okay.
and that people either misunderstand or they lie. those
And
funds.
we are open.
I know,
No, I'm just
I know
saying,
you
we're
are.
open, we want to be educated, so
And
please
let
correct
me
us
answer
where we're
that
wrong.
one specific deal.
Okay?
That those funds cannot be used for anything but transportation project, period. That by law, you cannot use those dollars for the jail, for anything else in the general fund.
What about road repair?
That by law.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
What, and again,
Sure.
educate us, what, is that a state law? Is
It
that
is a state law,
a state law?
it is a local law, it is a federal law, depending on what source of funds.
What about
Yeah,
road
one of the things
repair?
that I have to be honest with you, is people all have said that we could have used the money for the big damn bridge to build the jail. They're either ignorant or they're lying.
Okay, well, that, and you know, that's really important for us to understand, and that's why we're here tonight.
Sure.
And, you know, maybe that's something that we need to take a look at, because. as
Well,
a
I'd
town-
love to sit down with the four of you and go through all those
Oh, we're
projects.
so glad to hear that,
You-
because
you
that's
know.
what we're gonna ask.
I'd love to sit down with the four of you, because I understand that people look at things differently. But if you looked at all that, if you looked at my cover memorandum, it spelled out the criteria by which we look at all these projects. Now, does everybody think that would be essential even after you look at criteria? No, but some people do. So why don't we set up a time, Sherry?
Danny.
No, I'm talking, it's Sherry King.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all get with her and we'll set up a time next week